Nice to meet you all. I'm Kobz. I'm Nick's partner. I'm sure you know Nick the Shark. I am the operation guy in our agency and in all our businesses that we do together. And today I'm going to present you meta ads, something that people are not normally talking about, are not like sharing strategies or big informations about it. So we thought we should do a call special for this, because in my opinion, meta ads is a very simple strategy to run, especially right now with IG algorithms and shit. It's a very, very easy platform to learn, and it's a very easy strategy to do. So if you have a good model, decent content, and a good meta ad setup, you can easily reach 100K within 6 months or for an IG account. So I am gonna assume that you know the basics of the meta ads. So you know what's a cost per click, cost per impression. These are like the basic stuff. But we're gonna start firstly with the chapters. I'm gonna talk about the setup, how you need to like prepare the setup of the meta ads, what your targets should be, what are you looking for, do you know if it's working or it's not, how you should split the budget depending on the audience, depending on your budget, of course, and how you should track. Because if you just push a campaign and you're going to wait for subs to come in, that's not going to happen. You need to optimize it, you need to do lots of stuff, but it's fairly easy if you have experience in other parts, in other strategies. So let's talk about the setup right now. We always recommend to have a rented ad account. So there's two options in here. You either have a very, very old Facebook account where you can create a business manager and you can create an ad account, and it will be like very trusted by Meta. But if you don't have this possibility, there are out there Meta ads ad account suppliers. What happens in that point? Even though you don't have a big or a high quality Facebook account, let's say, to create all these things, those guys are gonna rent you one of their ad accounts. And it works by them having a big business manager on top, which is spending like 2 million per month, 2-3 million per month, and then ad accounts created by Meta API. They are very, very trusted by Meta because they are basically reviewed even before created. That's why we use rented accounts. We have a very good Chinese provider of ad accounts, and we can share that after the call, it's not a problem. But you need to understand the basics. So this is your Facebook account, this is the business manager, and this is the ad account, which connects to the IG accounts, okay? So in meta ads, you might stop basically because you don't know how to link things together, you don't know how to properly set up. So we're gonna also do a live demonstration of how to fully set it up. I'm not gonna show like personal stuff, of course, but we're gonna show exactly the strategy and how it should be done within minutes. It literally takes like 10 minutes to start the full strategy. All right, but firstly, let's say that you don't have a rented ad account. You have on your personal Facebook, very old, I assume. You're gonna go to business.facebook.com. You're gonna log in with your personal Facebook. You're gonna create a business suite account. And the thing you need to know about meta ads, they are constantly doing changes. There hasn't been 2 weeks in all of Meta's history that they didn't do a change in the ad manager. So you should expect that at all times. But mostly when they do it, they also give you the option to do it like the legacy version. So the business suite account is basically your business manager created by your personal Facebook. Then you need to create a new ad account that connects to the business suite, and the business suite is connected to your personal Facebook. Then you create a Facebook page. Why do we create a Facebook page if we want to run ads only on IG? We create a Facebook page because it's much more trusted by Meta when you have a full setup. If you only link IG to your business suite without even an ad account created special, so we need to create a Facebook page, and then we link the IG account to the Facebook page. And the Facebook page is linked to the ad account, and the ad account is linked to the business manager. It's like a stair, you know? So we have the Facebook page, then we connect the IG account. I'm gonna show you step by step how to do it. And then you need to link all these assets together. Now, if you did everything like this in this exact order, I don't think you'll need to connect anything more and to link anything more because they're already going to be connected and you're going to have access to all of them. But let's say the scenario where you buy a rented ad account, you don't even know what to do with it. Let's say someone gives you access, because this is how it works. They give you access with your email or with your business manager, and you can have a shared access to their ad account, basically. And if that happens, you need to make sure your personal Facebook, the one that you have access to your business manager, also has access to the shared.
Okay.
It's actually Serge Olivier which does that, just so you know.
Okay.
So yeah, I lost my point, but the thing is, you need to link all of this together. If something doesn't show up in the ads manager, it means that you either didn't connect it or you didn't link it to your account. Your account is determining what you see on ads manager, okay? This is the setup. If you have it already, it's very good. If you don't, follow these easy steps and you're gonna have. Now, as a strategy, I've tested in the past year and a half, maybe 2 dozens of strategies. And I always get to the point where I come to the conclusion that we shouldn't expect an ROI immediately after running ads, but rather creating a compound effect, rather creating a snowball effect, okay? So the strategy that we run, we even run this to this day, it's been like 1 year and a half, it's traffic and sales combined. There's 2 different campaigns in this strategy. First of all is the traffic. If you know boostings from IG, this is the exact same thing, but on ads manager, traffic, which is in meta ads, you're gonna choose the objective of the campaign as traffic. Then in the ad set, we're gonna target basically broad. We're not gonna go into niches, into specifics, into interests or behaviors. We're just going to target broad based only on location and age. That's it. Then for the ad, we need to talk, before I even show you anything in terms of like meta ads, you need to know that content is basically what users see, and the content is determining your results. You can have the shittiest meta ad setup and the best content, and you're going to perform better than if you have the best meta ad setup and shitty content, okay? And what do I mean by best reel? Right now, IG is really focusing on shares rate. So the biggest, the most important like metric of a reel is the shares. But shares, likes, and comments are all combining into the engagement rate. And I always choose my reels that I promote based on the engagement rate. So let's say you have 100 likes, 100 comments, and 100 shares. That's 300 in total. You're gonna divide that by the number of views, and you're gonna have your engagement rate. I always look for have more than 4% engagement rate. So it's very important that they have this engagement rate, a very good hook, and a very good CPA. Because the traffic campaign, what they see a reel and they see a CPA called visit Instagram profile. You can change that. This is what they see. So you must promote the reels according to this. All right. For ads, you want to build an IG account. You don't want to spend money only on views. You want to spend money on the views, of course, but you also want to grow your IG account. So that's why we are going to use in meta ads, we're going to use the existing post option. We're never going to upload one reel special made for meta ads because that doesn't help with our followers. It doesn't go into our reel views. Yes, they can press and visit the profile. They can watch the profile anyway. But if they don't get a view on the reel on your account, it's not going to be that helpful. Then the sales campaign is something more advanced, but it's not necessarily hard to set up because Get All My Links already has everything that you need in order to implement it. You just have to know a few things about the pixels because, as I said in the beginning, they change a lot of things very, very frequently. So what's different than the traffic campaign? We're going to have the same goal of boosting a reel, promoting a reel, but the CTA will be different. The CTA will go into a landing page rather than the profile. But the beauty of the sales campaign, which is what I also really like, you're gonna have the reel, the profile here, of course, and the CTA in here, like subscribe or view more, depends on what you choose. But either way, they're also capable of going into your profile and generating a profile visit, even though you don't have that target. So it's like a really good thing. But you're gonna have more costs in here. Meta ads like pre-established costs for the lower amount of campaigns and the big amount of campaigns. Traffic and what was that? Traffic and views, from what I remember in Meta ads, are the lowest cost campaigns, and sales and leads are the most expensive campaigns per 1,000 views. How are we calculating costs? We're calculating costs based on metrics. I'm going to show you more later in the call. And let's get back to the sales objective. When you're going to create the campaign, we're going to choose sales objective. I'm going to show you, and we're going to keep the exact same ad set and ad, the exact same principles. But for Meta ads to track your conversion, we're going to set up a pixel with the conversion to be on the OF link. Okay, so not on the website, on the viewing of the website of Get All My Links, but rather on pressing the OF link. Perfect. I'm going to show like live everything that I just said. It may get a bit confusing, but there's two simpler strategies. You just have to look separately at them. Now, I'm going to speak about the US market because most of us are going to do US market with this. And here is an outdated cost. Don't look at it. But traffic campaign, you're going to have a target of 0.04 per profile visit. So you're paying 4 cents for a profile visit, which compounds into around maybe 0.50 for a follow, or 0.40, depending on your conversion. Then for the sales campaign, we're going to have 0.20 per conversion. The conversion is not pressing on the link, but it's rather pressing on the OF link inside the landing page. When targets are met, what I do, I firstly run it on US, and then when I hit this target and I found like my working reel, is how I call it, I'm going to push it also to UK, Canada, and Australia, and I'll show you exactly how I do it. Budget breakdown. At first, I always start USA campaigns with $20. If I run it with lower, it's not going to have the most accurate results. If I do $5, I'm not going to have a very good cost per profile visit. It's not going to be accurate. If you have a lower budget, try to do at least $10 per day. Don't start it with $20. Don't start it with $5 or less. If the targets are met, we're going to increase it 20% daily while still watching the targets. We need to be at least on 0.04 for traffic and 0.20 per sales. If targets are not met, we don't increase, and never decrease a campaign. If you're going to decrease the budget of a campaign, Meta ads is not going to like you anymore, basically. It's going to say, oh, this guy is not spending as much as before. Let's give him a lot bigger costs. And for the UK, Canada, and Australia, we'll do $10 per campaign. We can start with $10 and we can increase it depending on what we want. Now, depends a lot on how you track. How I do my tracking is through the following metrics. I do FTLs. We do FTLs for Meta ads because getting paid subs with Meta ads, it's a bit yes, it's working for the France market, and it's working also not better, but you'll have less costs. Let me get back to the costs. In here, this is for US market, but so this is 0.4, my mistake. But for other audiences, such as France, Italy, Spain, LATAM, and so on, you're going to look for much lower costs. So, for example, we helped a partner of ours do campaigns for Italy. He got a $0.01 per profile visit, and this is what you should be looking for as well, because it's just going to work better, you'll see. And the sales campaign, you're going to do it around, let me check what I have noted in here, 0.10 or lower. So if you have 0.10 per OF click, OF link click, it's really good. This is for other markets, okay? And tracking results, you're gonna look at 6 different metrics. First of all, is how much money you spent, how much money you inputted into the campaign, then how much money you made, then how much profit you made. This is like data that are not meta ads related. It depends on you, how much money you spend and how much money you make and what's your profit. Then you're gonna look for the following: FTL subs traffic, FTL sub sales, because you're gonna have 2 different campaigns and you should be looking at them separately when you do them and when you think about the conversion of them. But when you're like looking at the strategy and the ROAS on your strategy, you must look at both because the traffic is gonna decrease your average and the sales will increase your average. And when you're gonna have an average, you need to look for around the $0.80 per FTL subs. And here I'm talking about the US market. CRM, this is Airtable. This is Airtable interfaces. You can easily create it. It's like the default one. I just linked the metrics. Setting up an Airtable for this, I can also help you out with that. I have the default. Arthur, if you remind me to send it in the YouTube or whenever you want. And you're gonna have a stats like this. In the Airtable, there's also like last 7 days, last 2 weeks from what I remember, and also all time. So you need to look at the stats, also depending on the time, of course. Because if I start a campaign right now and I look at it in 7 days, I'm gonna see 7 days result. But if I run it for 1 month and I look only the first 7 days, I don't know what that campaign is gonna do, if it's bringing me money or I lose money. So you need to constantly track, constantly update. And how we do it, as a concrete example, we have a VA, constantly daily adding stats. And it's the same VA that also does like the OF tracking links and a lot of trackings that we do. Basically, just take the numbers out of the meta ads and add them in here in the template that we're going to share with you. This is basically my presentation. Now I'm going to show you a practical. Let me see if you can. No, you can see. Let me share the other one. All right. Can you see?
Yeah.
Perfect. I went into a random ad account. This is the view that you're going to have while being in the ads manager. Okay, so in here we already have the business manager set up. We already have the personal Facebook, of course. We already have the Facebook page. And in here I don't have the IG account, but I'm going to show you how it looks. The campaigns will be very, very easy to create. You don't have to overthink stuff, but you need to press the exact buttons that I'm pressing right now, because Meta is what is doing. He's pushing you to let them have the full control over your campaign so they can milk more money with less impressions, basically. So when you create a campaign, it's going to be like, for example, let's do traffic first. You're going to choose traffic. Don't go for the recommended. I split tested this for a period of 3 months, and it's not better, it's worse. You go for like fully tailor-made for you. You're going to create it by yourself. You're going to change it by yourself. You need to have full control, especially at the start when you need to optimize everything. So what I like to do is I name all of my campaigns with the type and the date. You don't have to change anything in here. In here, you need to set ad set budget. Uncheck this because you don't want your budget to be shared with other ad sets. You don't want to do A/B tests inside meta ads, because when you A/B testing is like when you select traffic campaign for both, you do 2 campaigns, right? You select traffic campaign for both, but on one you do like full age, 18 to 65 plus, and on one you do like 25 to 45. You're gonna see big differences in the metric stuff. You don't need to do A/B test with this. I don't ever do this. All right, special ad categories. In here, if you ever want to do like hiring meta ads, they might ask you to like check this, but either way, try to do normal. But it's not about hiring right now. For the models, this is a very easy campaign setup. For the ad set, I'm sure most of you are new to meta ads, and it's a bit confusing what you see. But you don't need you can't overthink it. If you overthink it, you're gonna end up crazy with meta ads. So just do one campaign and think of it like a tree. The campaign setup, what we're doing right now, is the foundation of the tree. Then in the traffic ad sets, they're like I don't know how to call it in English, you know,
Branch.
like the branch. Yeah. And in here you can do different ones. You can do depending on audience, depending on the IG account, depending on lots of stuff. So you need to split it. I respect that. Yeah, I created this. You need to split it based on the ad set. Okay. So for example, I want to do today like set one. I want to do 22 to 65 plus, male, USA, and the date. You need to have them organized so you know what's there, you know, without having to look in it. For the conversion location for the traffic campaign, we're going to do Instagram or Facebook. So maximize number of Instagram. Here is going to say Instagram where you have already an IG connected. If you have IG connected, of course, you're going to uncheck the Facebook part. So you don't want to push to Facebook. And why you don't want to push to Facebook? Because you might think it's cheaper, but you must also understand that it's a less quality audience, and that's why it's cheaper. They have less buying power, and they're mostly old people that just use Facebook because it's the most easy to use. Okay, but I'm going to show you a trick with Facebook in a second. In here, you don't need to overcomplicate it. Do the initial amount of the budget, I do 20. Don't set any end date, just watch it every day. In here, you select, of course, USA. You can also split test based on states. So what I also used to do, for example, you choose 5 states, right? And you're going to do maybe 4 or 5 ad sets with 5 states each. And from there, you're going to see which states are the most like converted. You can do lots of split testings. I'm not going to do all the study cases in here, but you can play around with a lot of things. And when you do like split tests and you don't want to push a lot of budget, you can do 1 reel per ad set in here. So 1 ad set, 1 reel, and you're going to do maybe like $8. So you can split test throughout like 4 or 5 ad sets. Reach more people likely to respond to your ads. I like to check this, but I haven't seen a real improvement from this. But I like to check this. Maybe it's placebo, maybe not. Just check it. Now this is the part where I told you like Meta Ads wants to have control. We don't want them to use Advantage Plus audience. We want to switch to original audience. They say it's 10% lower. No, it's not. Just in my opinion. See a new audience tab, the original one. Okay, in here you select the age, of course. You select the gender. This is a very, very good thing that they have with the gender. And in here, you might also think to test, to try, maybe looking for, I don't know, crypto pages, crypto interests, or medics, or high-paying jobs. This, I saw that they don't even bring good sums, they don't have whales, and it's not a lower cost. So I wouldn't even bother to like look for interests or behaviors. In my opinion, everything comes from the creative. If you have a good creative, you have a good campaign. You can also save your audience, basically have a preset of the audience. And in the placements, this is where the trick comes. This is something I've learned a few weeks back, and it's something not a lot of people know. But in here, again, it's asked for Advantage Plus placements, which you don't want to do. You want to do manual placements. In here, you're going to have automatically selected Instagram and Facebook, and you want to unselect Facebook and fully select Instagram, right? But we need to check one box from the Facebook, which is the Facebook stories. Why is that? Because Facebook stories is like the least common placement for Meta to push the ads in Facebook, but it also helps our costs go down in the overall campaign. I just seen like 30% better costs just by pressing this. And in here, in the breakdown of the campaigns, you can do a full breakdown based on placement. And you're gonna see in here, maybe if I do like all time, you're gonna see in here, you see where they place the ads. When you select Facebook stories, even though you have Instagram all over the place, it's gonna be right at the bottom, but you're gonna have 30% lower costs in average. So it's a very, very good thing to do. All right, getting back to it, we finished the ad set. You don't have to do anything more in here, but it's important that you also understand something about the audience definition. In here, if you have a narrow audience, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be very bad because it doesn't have enough people to try to show the ad to, and of course, it's gonna have a much lower, higher cost. I like it to be right above broad, right above in the middle. So if I have maybe like 2 million, 3 million, it's perfect for me. If you want to do max, I would suggest for you to do with $20 per day budget, maximum 20 million. Because from there, it can also have a lot of people to try to send and to check if they click or not. What's the logic of Meta? If you have 100 people in the audience, they're gonna test sending it to 10 people. They're gonna see who responds to the ad from those 10 people and show it more to the same type of guys. Exactly. Also run it on Facebook stories. Just check the box right here. Check the box. Make sure every other thing about Facebook is off. And like I've said, you're not gonna have a bunch of ads in Facebook. You're gonna have maybe 100, 200 impressions from there. It's not that big of a deal. Of course, it's not good to have the Harvey Specter Facebook page, of course, but like I said, you're gonna have maybe 0.2% of the ads are gonna go into Facebook stories. All right. And also, when you select like in here, the Instagram and uncheck the Facebook, in the Facebook stories, there's also going to be the Instagram account instead of the Facebook account. My account is closed because I've done too much bad shit on it, honestly. So it's closed because I ran too many ads and maybe a bit too sexual. All right, now getting into the reels. This is the ad. So we did the campaign, the ad set, and then we have the ad. In here, it's very important that you don't just push one. If you have a $20 budget, you're gonna have like 3 reels, and then you're gonna also see the stats of each reel and choose the most converting one. Choose the best option, and always have 3 reels in here, similar to the ones working good. And this is the one that this is the button that I said to you guys to use existing posts. Right now, it doesn't show up anything because I don't have the Instagram connected, but it should say here, use existing post. And in here, you're gonna select it from your from Instagram account, and you're not gonna be able to change the description of the video. So when you're posting reels, like organically, you need to also, this is a basic knowledge thing, to have a very, very good description of the reel. Something engaging, something that people would stop to look at and maybe to comment, or maybe to like, or maybe to share. All right, this is like the basics of the meta ads. And like I've said, I would recommend, if you want to start right now, meta ads, get a business manager, get an ad account, start with a traffic campaign with 1 ad set, and with 3 reels with a $20 budget in the ad set. And then how are you going to look at the stats? Because I've said to you, you need to look at the stats, but I haven't showed you to. In here, I have a custom one. Let's see if it's the right one. Yeah. So in here, you can see, for example, this campaign, 55K profile visits with a cost of 2.2K. What you need to look at? You need to understand, first of all, the difference between reach and impressions. A reach is a unique visitor to your reel or to your creative, to your campaign, but impression can be triple out of the reach just because one unique user can see 3 times your video, and but not see it like re-loop it, like replay it. Like Instagram will show it again to him. This is what impression means. And then link clicks. Link clicks, you're gonna have a few different link clicks options in here. If you press on the columns and you see customized columns in here, you're gonna have link clicks, unique link clicks, link ad settings, preview link. You're gonna have a bunch of link clicks, but you need to select the most common one, because a link may be also your profile on top. This is also a link. It's gonna count as a link click, and also the CTA down below. Click-through rate. Click-through rate is the percentage of people that have seen your reel and also did interact with it, link clicked it, right? So a 25% one, for example, this is a very, very good campaign. I just chose a random ad account, but this is a very good campaign. It's ran probably for maybe 1 month, and an average cost of 0.04 with a 26% click-through rate is very good. So if you need to look maybe over like 20% as an average. You need to have a target of the click-through rate, because this is basically your conversion out of viewing the reel and interacting with the reel or following you or clicking the link. And then you have the cost per result and cost per link click. As you can see, they're both the same, because the link is the Instagram profile visit, All right. This is like the most basic things I look at. Of course, you can do lots of custom things in here. They have all the possible things. This is like what to see, customized columns. And I also like to do like breakdowns. If I look at a campaign, I want to see which type of people, which age range liked it more. So I'm going to go in here in the age range. Let's see the good one, this one, for example. As you can see, 55. Yeah. I've been in the age range of 25 to 34 the most. You see, 50K reach, 75K impressions. And the best cost actually is the same cost, because the reel was something very, very common and it worked good for all the audience. But if you have a reel targeting old men, you don't want to show it to people who are 25, So this is where you see how it converts, depending on lots of things. I personally do like placement, age, and country, but you can choose, like I said, lots of things in here. Okay. This is good. Now let's see the sales campaign, which is a bit more complicated to set up, I'll admit. By the way, leads and sales are almost the same. It's just however you prefer. I just choose sales. All right. The same you need to do. You need to be organized in meta ads. I always like to be organized in meta ads. Sales 1609. I do ad set budget. We don't share any. This is the same exact thing. We just changed the objective. For this, we need to do website and calls first. No, this one, website. So we need to drive sales and conversions on our website. Maximize number of conversions. This is the one that you need to select, because one conversion, you're gonna set it up. I think I have something here. Yeah. This is like a data set. Meta changed the name of it. Don't ask me why, I don't know. It's a data set, it's not a pixel anymore, but you need to create a data set and link a conversion to it inside the maybe I can also show you. Let's see. Yeah, all good. Here in datasets, you create a new pixel with connect data. You choose web. I can't because it's disabled, but I can also show you here. This is a data set, right? In here you have the page view, right? From Get All My Links. You can test events in here, but first you need to link it. And how do you link it? In here, you have a thing called Open Event Setup Tool. So you need to make Meta understand what is your conversion, what is your event that you want to reach. So after you create this pixel, you open the event setup tool and you basically click the OF link like a simp would do, and you mark it as the conversion. In a few minutes, dataset will recognize that as a conversion. It will know that this is what you want for that dataset, and it will work perfectly.
Exactly. So on Get My Links, they just go in the advanced settings, you put the pixel, then you take the link of the where you put the pixel on Get My Links, you put it in the event, you click on the link,